This case is in re Capacitors Antitrust Litigation in the Northern District of California before Judge Donato. We represented a class of direct purchasers alleging a violation of Sherman Act Section 1 for horizontal price fixing amongst a cartel of over 22 defendant families spanning the globe and fixing prices of capacitors for over a decade. Some antitrust cases start because the government launches an investigation. Other antitrust cases start because some smart people notice that there's an issue. This case was really a combination of both. A lot of members of the community, especially people who purchase capacitors regularly, suspected that there was some sort of untoward activity happening in the capacitor market. And it just so happened that those suspicions were confirmed when the first raids happened of these capacitor companies, I believe in Japan sometime in December, I believe it was mid-2014. Capacitors are ubiquitous little electronic components. What they really do is, at a very basic level, control the flow of electricity. They can be very tiny, microscopic to the size of a truck or a car. So the case involved at least 22 defendants across the globe who were regularly conducting price-fixing meetings. A lot of these defendants were all over and of all shapes and sizes, but many of them were very, very large, with large international footprints. Panasonic were involved, Hitachi were involved. And this cartel lasted for many, many years. Our class period, initially, as we alleged, ran from 2002 up through 2014. Our class members were all small businesses, and who really took offense to the fact that, these large multinational corporations were, fixing the price of these kind of ubiquitous components that everyone needs. Really just for a few extra bucks, which really adds up. And especially for these small kind of entrepreneurs, every little penny could really affect their bottom line. So the first day of trial was March 2nd, 2020. We had a lot of excellent testimony that they couldn't run away from. They had there was smoking gun evidence. And then we presented our case, and we were almost done with our case in chief. I believe it was March 16, 2020. It was a Monday. So we showed up to court one day. And then we noticed the jury wasn't there, and it was just us and the lawyers from the other side. And the judge goes, we've gotten concerns from the jurors that, some of them are caring for at-risk people, so we're just going to send everyone home. We ultimately released the jury and declared a mistrial in June 2020. We eventually retried the case in November 2021, and there were a lot of challenges because, just by passage of time, certain witnesses were no longer available. I actually remember when the judge announced the settlement in the courtroom. There were a lot of jurors who were actually visibly shocked because I think the juror was really excited about going in there and deliberating and rendering a verdict. Honestly, I think the only person more disappointed than perhaps I was probably juror number 4. In particular, I want to recognize, Joseph Saveri, who's obviously the namesake of the firm. So it was really through his leadership, I think, that this case was such a success. And I think one of the greatest successes of this case was that, the recovery we recovered over single damages, but roughly about 140% of what our expert calculated as single damages. One of the most rewarding parts of this case was, our clients and class members got real money out of this. We cut many checks that were over tens of thousands of dollars. I think, any person should care about antitrust cases because ultimately antitrust cases are foundational to the American political economic system. The American system is built on, ingenuity, hard work, and, competition. But when large corporations are out there exploiting their own market power in order to make, fixed prices more than they should and cheat small businesses or individuals, I think that is completely anathema to that basic idea of, American competition and that free spirit, that entrepreneurial spirit that I think really undergirds American society.